I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
All right, you're real quiet. How do I sound?
you sound like Greg.
All right. Well, here, let's get Wiscobass here. My apologies. Again, I don't do this for a living, so I can hear you just fine.
All right, I'll speak up.
All right. Welcome. So, how you doing, Wiscobass?
Doing all right.
All right, good. Yeah, what you drinking tonight?
Tonight is Benro Monk 10. It's actually what we drank well, a couple weeks ago. A little less than normal.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I am going with the let's see here. I'm going with the brandy old fashioned, the drink Wisconsin Blee brandy old fashioned.
Choice.
So, in honor of Wisco Bass and my wife being away in Wisconsin, I decided I would go with a brandy old fashioned.
Bachelor night, huh?
Yep, bachelor tonight, single father. And to all you single fathers out there, I salute you. It is not easy, but it's nice that my wife could get away, and nice I get to spend a little bit more time with the kids this weekend. So it's fantastic. All right, so what's going on in your life?
A little tired. Kids today had forced me to go out and rake leaves, and held against my will, I was encouraged not to bring the leaf blower.
What?
Horrible. I had to use this rake thing. You see these things are these contraptions that look like claws. Just a horrible invention.
So wait, you don't have a leaf blower, or you do?
I do, of course, I have a leaf blower. Of course,
Okay.
it's written. But I was asked because they want the kids to do manual labor as their good deed. I was asked not to bring the leaf blower, but I still snuck it into the truck anyways.
Wow, that's very charitable of you, sir. That's that's fantastic. Yeah. So while we're talking about leaf blowers, what do you got? What do you got under the hood of the leaf blower?
Oh, it's the good old Milwaukee. Let me grab it. We're out in the shop. I'll give you a tour. You haven't been out here yet.
That's right.
Go grab it. Actually, it's all the way out in the truck. It's dark and there's scary animals out there. So, uh, but what was most impressive was the fact that one of the guys who I turned on to the Milwaukee blower walks out and he says, "Hey, don't you have this?" And I said, "What do you mean?"
Oh yeah, the dual battery blower.
And I'm going to hold it there for a moment because I realize that Milwaukee, when you go to their website, doesn't have this image or this angle. And I notice it's pretty masculine, if you know what I mean,
Oh, it absolutely is. That's a pretty manly leaf blower.
with two batteries, if you know what I mean.
More power.
A lot more power. I think it's was 145 mile per hour winds on that sucker.
Jeepers. Well, I'm blowing leaves like a plebe. I just have the single M18 battery Milwaukee. I also got that mini blower. I don't think it's intended to be a leaf blower, but I got that little mini M18 blower. I use just kind of blow crap around the shop, and
Right.
I mean it's okay. I wouldn't recommend it, but the big one I like.
No, that's all right. Awesome. Did you lose my video or am I still in your video?
You're still up in video. Audio quality is a little quiet.
Okay, I gotta get back to shouting. That's all right. We'll work on this these details. But yeah, no, the leaf blower is good, but it's I still walk around like Chewbacca with a bandolier of batteries. If I'm gonna do a full long day, I can't you don't have too many of those the big fat packs that I take the money out of the kids at college education if I'm gonna buy more of those.
Well, what I do is, I follow the Den of Tools guy. I don't know if you watch his channel, but he's like a hawk. I don't know. He just does a lot of tool reviews, gives history on tool companies, and even some of the overseas stuff. But Like, what's worth it to me, subscribe to his channel, because every Monday he comes out with his Deals of the Week video, and he combs through all the circulars, all the websites, Amazon, Ace Hardware, Northern Tools, Acme Tools, all the oddball tool websites, and just posts like his best deals of the week. And so one of the things that I do is I just look for that deal where it's like buy the leaf blower for $100 and get 2 8-amp-hour batteries or something like that. So that's how I've managed to just wait, unless you need a tool right now, just wait and follow his website, and then you'll get some good deals. There's some BOGO at Home Depot right now. Some buy one get one, buy the tool, get the battery for free.
Nice.
There's a couple of them that are 8-amp-hour batteries. 8 amp hours is as big as I have, but and I find that gets me through quite a bit. I can weed whip and edge, and even blow the driveway and neighbor's driveway, because I do their yard as well, with just 1 amp-hour battery. And I got, with their property and my property, it's 2 acres.
Yeah, that'll get you there.
Oh, yeah.
I actually use the 8 on my chainsaw, my Milwaukee chainsaw. So it's works exceptionally well. I'm tired before the battery's tired, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the pole saw that attaches the quick lock attachment. I don't have the standalone chainsaw, but I don't have a big need for one right now. I had a gas-powered Craftsman I had for probably 20 years I just got rid of.
Cut your legs off with that pole saw.
What's that?
A lot harder to cut your legs off with that pole saw.
Oh, yeah.
So far away.
Well, leave it to me. I'll figure out a way.
You're a safety guy.
That's right. I'm like more like the Homer Simpson safety guy than the actual safety guy.
Nice.
So who was that guy that was the like Homer Simpson's fake enemy? Like, he hated Homer Simpson, but he was the safety guy. Remember that like Frank Grimes or something, that episode?
Grimes, yeah, Grimes.
Yeah, Grimy they called him. He hated it. Oh, yeah. I'm more Homer Simpson, less Grimes.
They snapped on Homer, and that was bad.
Yeah, nobody snaps on Homer.
Right.
So you got a favorite Simpsons episode?
It's still got to be Canyon Arrow.
Oh, yeah. You know those little things they put on the top of your antenna so you can find your car in a parking lot? Every car should have one.
The deer smacking, I have to go back to the lyrics, but, unexpected fires are a matter for the courts. One of the best lines of that song. Such the American vehicle, the Canyon Arrow.
I think
I wish Elon Musk would rename the Cybertruck the Canyon Arrow.
Oh, that would be that. Unless they have it copyrighted, that would be sheer genius. I would love to see a Canyon Arrow. What's that?
He can afford the copyright.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that would be if there was a car named a big truck called the Canyon Arrow or something. I would be the first in line to get it. Unless it's I'd probably get it even if it was garbage.
Right, because it probably could seat your whole family in it.
That's right. Oh, a pickup truck that seats 8. There you go, with a little bubble in the back.
There was a company that was showing like an expandable cab a while back. I believe it was like, maybe it was even Dodge. I can't remember who did that.
What, an expandable cab? That'd be interesting.
Right? So, I gotta tell you, we're at this thing, and you meet another dad, and what do you talk about? Which is actually, I think, on the agenda for this evening, which is your favorite tools.
Yeah.
It used to be like, what's your favorite He-Man, or you talk to friends, but now it's, hey, what's your favorite tool? And you start talking about red tools a lot. And the best finish of the day after hanging out with this dad named Jay, I go, hey, Jay, do you have one of these? And I whip out my Milwaukee blade. And, I wasn't really thinking we were having ice cream with the kids. And what does he do? He reaches down and he grabs the knife that I think you have, the red knife. And then one of the teachers whips out his pocket knife. Here we're all like flicking our knives in front of everyone.
Yeah, I got one. I got one too.
That's too good. And I thought maybe that wasn't the right environment to be showing off our Milwaukee tools. But
There's never a wrong place to show your tool.
well, the whole in front of other small children, that's kind of where it gets awkward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you got a favorite tool?
You know, it's got to be the impact driver. This guy, yeah, it's a him. I mean, what do you not do with this? You know, first of all, you got to do that.
Oh,
Right?
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But I've fixed, built so many different things, and once I discovered you can get drill bits, it just kind of takes over everything. I don't really know how to operate a regular drill anymore, so I gotta say that's one of my favorite. I have to look around because
Strip a lot of screws that way, though.
right. You know, that's where you learn that star bits are your friends.
That's right.
But I think right now that's probably like the go-to. I'm looking in there, got a lot of my bike tools. There's a lot of cool tools up there, but I think that's on my higher up on my list. How about you?
I got to go with the Star Wars blaster. I just did a video on it this past week. The install tool. I love this thing. I use it all the time. It's right next to my workbench because I just grab for it for everything. It's just a nice medium duty. I mean, if you're think about all the stuff you got to put together for your kids or take apart and fix. I mean, this little thing can just get anywhere. It's got a bunch of attachments. You can just stick it anywhere. And I just 3D printed a little thing for it. One problem is that you got to lay it down. It's not very stable when you set it down like that. So I just 3D printed this little thing, and it just fits right on there. You can kind of see it'll fit up in there, goes into the screw holes, and then you can set it down flat. So just a stupid little 3D print, and I haven't installed it yet. I just took it off the printer right before the podcast or right before the live stream.
Yeah, that driver's been on my list for a while, just because it is so much gentler on things, and it's pretty amazing. I actually watched cabinet installers use those. There's a lot of and all the offset attachments, how well those work.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Pretty darn impressive.
And you got to get yourself a pair of these. I'm going to actually do a video on this. We got them at work, and I liked it so much I went out and got one. They're less than $20, but it's basically a pair of vice grips, right? A nut rounder. But what I like about it is, you see how thin that blade is. It's self-adjusting, so you can grab that blade, right? And it's got a tight grip on there. But then you can go to something like this, and it automatically adjusts to even that. So it goes from a thin razor blade all the way to that with no adjustments, and it keeps the same tightness. So I keep this right on my workbench also. It's just one of those things that just, one-handed, you don't even have to think about it. You don't need any other pair of vice grips. I just use it for actually holding things because it'll just automatically open and close to whatever width it needs. It's fantastic. It's an ingenious little design, too. Made by Armor Tools, ARMOR.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. I need something like that. I got a black pair of that. I think the Craftsman tried to make those years ago, and it was like Robo Grip.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
That was right around the downfall of Craftsman. The Robo Grip came out.
Yeah. We're more in Craftsman on that one. My best gripping tool is this guy, and this isn't anything high tech, but you ever see one of these?
Oh yeah. They're I see like leather or like sailmakers clamps, or I can't remember what they're called.
Jewelers
clamps. That's it.
Yeah, but little leather grip in there, and it's so low tech, but you want to work on a piece, it doesn't mar it up. This was actually a guy I used to work with, who actually used to be a jeweler. He would refurbish these, and he gave me one as a gift. I was admiring him at work one time. He said, "There you go." I held on to this sucker, and this will stay with me for a long time.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. But probably favorite tool, I won't lie, is Mr. Pokey. Do you have a Mr. Pokey in your shop?
I have a couple Mr. Pokies. This one right here This Mr. Pokey I use for almost everything. It's called the Carolina Roller. I think it's actually for like a lock picking tool, but man, if it's just not handy.
What don't you find a use for it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's always a good one. But hey, something I know I mentioned to you on our trip is that infrared camera is the new tool that I'm excited to find uses for. One of those FLIR cameras.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. We had so it's this little FLIR. Do you have it handy?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Yeah, so it's a little FLIR camera that you attach to your cell phone, and his was I think USB-C for an Android device. Yeah, and we were just out in the woods right after the live stream we did around the campfire. You hook that thing up, and I could go hide in the woods, or not hide in the woods, and he could pick me up, even pretty far away. I'd say 30, 40 feet away, you could still see me. And you were able to see some deer that were feeding in a deer feeder over on the neighbor's property, and it was pitch black out, no moon, cloudy night. It was pretty impressive.
Well, what blew me away is, so about a week or so back, I heard what most homeowners don't want to hear, which is the sound of mice in their walls. And I was not so excited, but I did think for a moment, what if I get my camera? Could I see them? And I thought, there's no way. And sure enough, I could look on the wall. It was actually a bathroom wall. I could see the heat from the pipe from the kids took a shower, and then I could see 2 or 3 little heat signatures on the wall. And I was like, there's no way.
Did you grab the shotgun? That's step 2.
That's step 2, right? I see that or burn the house down. I couldn't decide what I was going to do with that.
Hire an exorcist.
Right. But I was talking to the bug guy the pest guy the next day, and I told him, I said, could I have seen him? He goes, oh yeah, absolutely. He goes, they would have been leaning against the wall. He goes, they would have been transferring heat. He goes, people use them all the time to find critters in the walls. Wow.
Well, that's a new house too.
Yeah, 47 years old, but new to us.
Right.
So, I think this was a problem that was there before, but yeah, you can see how small the camera is. That just pops on the bottom of your phone. And the most intelligent thing is this little dial here, because it actually adjusts for your phone case. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I was really impressed with that. And I think you got it for like $179 or something like that on Amazon.
That's my Prime Day deal. I think they're over $300 right now.
Yeah, that's a Prime Day deal I'm looking out for.
Maybe Santa's then listening.
Yeah, hopefully Santa's listening. That thing was awesome.
What other tools you got going on your bench? You got anything you're going to review soon?
Yeah, I'll probably start doing a little bit more tool reviews. Mostly because they're easy to make. You can, you can put a video out pretty quickly, a fairly high quality video without doing a whole lot. Not a lot of writing. I like this thing, and it's called a chip lifter.
Isn't that what this is?
What's that?
Isn't this is the chip lifter?
Oh, sure. But this thing has just a little bit of a head on it. You can kind of see that, a little fork. And I just use it, I use it for chip lifting when I'm doing soldering projects, but man, it's just a great pry bar. And this thing is pretty strong for getting under there, where maybe you might mar the finish with just a pokey thing.
Right.
And then I got this guy right here. This
looks like dental tools.
Yeah, it does. And this is little Knipex pliers. They're mini plier. But man, it stays out on my workbench. Like, this is like the best of out on my workbench. The tools I use, almost daily. But this thing, swings open. I use it to open stuff. I use it to hold things. Just so handy to have. And then I got a pair of these VAM pliers. VAM pliers. And they're great for just grabbing fasteners. anything stuck. Just fantastic. These are actually, they're vampires, but they're Japanese made. They're made by a company called Engineer Pliers. I have the full size set of vampires, but this one stays on my workbench.
Nice. So a question for you, Greg.
What you got?
What do you call a weapons dealing Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I don't know.
Small arms dealer.
There you go. Heyo.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Hey, did you check out the shorts this morning?
Mine? My shorts?
No,
I do check every morning.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but like YouTube showed it to 0 people, so I'm a little bitter about that.
What was the joke? Maybe I did see it.
Oh, you know what? I gotta go look. Because I film a lot of these in spurts, so it's not like so sometimes I might film 3 or 4 in an evening, and then I'll kind of group them out. Let's see what I got here. So I might film, because I tried to do 2 a day, so they kind of run into each other. Not saying I'm not doing high quality videos, but I'm not doing high quality videos.
Don't set the bar too high.
That's right. Let's see here. Yeah, so I ended up posting a couple shorts. So I have one was a joke about a guy in the bar, hey bartender, give me a beer before the problem starts. And then the other one is a Frisbee dad joke.
I did see that one.
Yeah, so yeah, interesting. I think my favorite video that I've done, and it doesn't have the views, but my favorite one was the knock knock joke.
What's that one?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I eat mop.
I eat my food.
There you go. That's my favorite. I mean, I use that knock knock joke almost on a daily basis. My kids just love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll put them in therapy someday.
Yeah, exactly. But man, that was my favorite. I thought that was a winner. I thought that was going to be my viral 6 million view video, but nah, it didn't happen.
Right. So I was wondering, if you throw a pencil up in the air, is it still stationary?
Ah, that's a good question.
I can't beat that, right?
And this thing, here's a dad joke, but Rockler made this one.
What is it?
Screw lube.
Huh?
Screw lube. It lubricates, reduces binding and friction, and non-flaking. You put it on your screws to help them go in. So it's I have yet to open this little package of screw lube, but Rockler sold it with a straight face, and I bought it. It sits right here proudly on my workbench, so that anybody that wants to see it will see it and question my my life decisions.
Well, clearly, they can see you may not need such a thing. But.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Nice. How many years does Davy Crockett have?
2, I imagine.
Actually, 3. He's got a left ear, a right ear, and a front ear.
Ah, yes.
Put dad jokes on it, man. I'm just going to bring out the material if I can.
You got to, please.
Right. They might revoke my dad card if I don't.
What do you call 2 ducks and a cow?
What?
Quackers and milk.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll laugh more later. I promise.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of beards, but now it's starting to grow on me.
Like your Frisbee joke, man, right? It's like a Frisbee joke.
Yeah.
Looking around the shop here, man, like there's so many hidden tools that you use, you're doing projects all the time. The little heat shrink tool. I think you have one of these.
Oh yeah, how do you like it?
It's a beast. It's got the little stand. You can set it down, and you can hold you hold your project in front of it. You can sink your fingertips just right. It's exceptional. But for heat shrinking, those connections, the ones that melt the solder on the connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll one up you, bud. You got this one?
What's that?
The Milwaukee heat gun. This is what I use for shrink tubing. And I just used it tonight, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's not as good as a corded one, but like if you're sitting under a car, like if you're wiring truck bed lights or trailer lights, I mean, it just comes in super handy. And my wife uses it. She does a lot of lapidary work, working with rocks and making them pretty, and she uses it to melt the lapidary wax, so it actually stays on her workbench.
I thought you were gonna tell me she dries her nails with them.
That might be a little risky. I think you'd burn your hands off.
All right. So as I'm reaching in the electrical thing, do you own one of these, Greg?
What is? Oh, that? So it's not that, right? No.
You know what that is, right?
Is it like a lug crimper like that?
Yeah, for putting battery, like wiring up the boat. Yeah, there you go.
Or like this one? This one's a little bigger.
Yeah, right, that's the same size. I think your hand's just smaller.
And you got that? That's what I've heard. Yeah, I got a couple like that.
That's a good one. The other, okay, so can I show you the tool I'm a little disappointed in?
Oh, yeah. I could put a joke in there somewhere, but I'll leave this G-rated.
I think that's good. This is a tool that I wish was better. And I know they make stronger ones, but this little M12 goes in the back of this. This is great, except for when you're actually trying to put any torque down.
So that's not what that tool's for. So I have that, and I've actually watched a couple reviews on it because I was totally disappointed. That is not for detorquing. That you need an impact ratchet for. That is not an impact ratchet. So that one is just for tightening and loosening. So if you have something stuck, you might need to use an impact gun, or if you need to torque it down, you need to use a torque wrench or so that is just for household style nuts and bolts.
It only takes care of getting it too tight, but it doesn't tighten it.
Right, and for that you would want an impact ratchet.
Right. I just had higher hopes that I was like, well, this is going to save me so much work.
So you ever use one of these? You did your aluminum boat. You ever see one?
What you got?
It's a double-headed cutter. This thing goes on a drill. Let's pull it out of here. So it goes on a drill bit, and then it's used to cut metal. It's a nibbler. So it has two sides, and it just you kind of see that when you turn it. It just nibbles out the metal, and you can make curved cuts in sheet metal like super easy, especially aluminum. It just does a great job of making quick cuts. It's bad at following a straight line. For that, you'd probably want like a jigsaw or a cut-off saw or something, but it is fantastic for cutting curves in up to, it says up to 1.8 millimeters steel. I'm not sure what that is in American. But
What is it? Is it a drill attachment? Or?
Yeah, it's a double-headed cutter. So it's just a drill, a nibbler, I think is what they call them.
Huh.
And then if you're doing any kind of wiring, these ferrule crimping kits are great for making like professional connections.
Right.
All it is, it looks cool.
I think I have one of those.
Yeah.
I got to get a new wire stripper though. Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, they're great for making professional looking connections. And since I do a lot of like Arduino and Raspberry Pi stuff, it's fantastic because then you can use them. You can put in terminals and cut them off or just remove them. Quick remove. So I just love it.
Nice.
What else you got?
Oh, actually, I'll show you a bike tool. I know it may not make a whole lot of sense to you, but I'll show you anyway.
Sure.
So this one's pretty simple. This will look familiar.
Oh yeah.
It's a vice grips, right?
Yep.
Okay.
What does it do?
But when you're taking off the cassette, the gears in the back, you normally use a thing called a chain whip.
Right.
It's a functional tool. Well, instead of that whip and it's slipping off and you bust your knuckles, this is grooved to grab the cassette, you lock it on, and then you just use your other tool to take off the lock ring, and it's easy peasy.
Ingenious. I love it.
Right? Some bike mechanic out there invented this, you bet.
And now some company in China is ripping it off and making money on it.
Absolutely.
So what about you got this guy? Speaking of M12 tools,
What you got?
it's their rotary tool, like a Dremel.
I'm still plugged into the wall.
Oh man, so I have a bunch of Dremels that I'm looking at right now, and I probably haven't used any of them since I got this a year or two ago, and it is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. And I've even upped my game a little bit with this guy. More like a roll-lock tool. It's a die grinder, so I use that for quite a bit of stuff too.
Yeah, that can be handy. That can be real handy.
Yeah, so I'll be doing some project videos soon. We're gonna be making some knives. We got these knife kits.
Really?
Oh yeah, making some knife handles for the kid. You know, the kids are making their own knives, sheath knives. And then we're gonna make some leather sheaths with them. So we got that coming up, and then it's pen making season. So we make all kinds of pens. As soon as November rolls around, the kids give pens to their teachers. We make stuff like these wine bottle stoppers. We make a bunch of those.
Works.
Oh yeah. And then we
I'll show you
go
an
ahead.
honorable mention thing that's in my shop.
Yeah, let's hear it.
And it's made. So this was made by my grandfather,
What?
and so you'd hang it from the ceiling, and then you put screws, and then baby food jars,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. That's pretty impressive. So do you do a lot of woodworking? Like what's your main so you have all these tools. I know you do a lot of pretty high level bike stuff. Any other kind of tool related hobbies that you have?
So it's mainly just fixing and building, but I haven't quite honed in on my carpentry skills. Are meh. I'm good at buying tools. Does that count?
That counts. No, but I mean, are there any other hobbies that? So you have a couple hobbies that you do with your son. It's like, what are some of those?
Yeah, so we've recently gotten into RC remote control airplanes, and been working on skills on how to put styrofoam back together after you lawn dart your airplane. Pretty neat is actually we just joined an RC air club, and the average age is probably 72, and they're all grandpas. And what's really exceptional about there's a lot of remote control airplane clubs, which is usually old guys with a lot of money, and they call them checkbook pilots. They can just buy a plane and they crash it and buy another one. This club is different. It's actually filled with the main focus of this club is actually building aircraft. So we are currently building 2 balsa wood RC airplanes, and they're being retrofitted. They were originally, the plane was intended for gasoline, or nitro as they call it, and we're converting it to electric. And then the goal for the club is, once the plane is finished, someone will buy it at a swap meet, little funds for the club to build the next plane.
So how many people are in this club?
I think that at times about 8 to 10 a night. And this guy's got this. I wish I could give you a shop tour of his place, because it's got so many planes on the wall, but every tool, everything a hobby shop has, he's got it there. And things that my son are learning is things like, balsa's got grain, and when you pay attention to that grain, you can change where the flex or the strength is in the airplane, and how important it is. Pretty cool.
So do you do any bait making? Somebody named Ellen Knapflick just asked what about bait making? I guess she knows that we're bait makers. Some may even say we're master bait makers.
Oh, master, yes. We haven't seen baits made in a while. We actually got the toolbox up top. There's some prototypes in there, but baits are something I need to get back into. Who was Marlon Bates? That was the guy that...
Yeah, Marlon Bates and World's Worst Fishing. He does the soft plastics.
Yeah. So that's enjoyable to watch. It's a hobby that we kind of fizzled out on a little bit, but I've got a son who's really into everything, and I blame myself for that. But I think, like a lot of us, especially as we hone in on what we like, it's that trying everything. Try that. You pick up little skills. So, like, I learned things from when we did bait making. Baking soda and super glue.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Yeah. Who knew? I mean, how did I go my whole adult life without knowing about super glue and baking soda put together? Just don't inhale it.
Yeah, it's some pretty nasty stuff.
Take your breath away.
Yeah, see, I prefer the soft plastic making, less skill involved.
Right.
So I'll do a bunch of videos probably in the spring on bait making. So epic bait molds. Basically, I have some of the Marlin bait molds. I have a really cool one called the Bubble Toad that I got from Wiscobass. And that kind of started the obsession with bait making. So now I pour soft plastic. I didn't do much this season, mostly because my workbench is occupied with some other crafts, speaking of wanting to do everything. So I do a lot of soft plastic work. I'll probably do some ice fishing soft plastics. I have a couple molds for that, so I might do an episode on that. That'd be fun.
Be tiny.
What's that?
Those are gonna be tiny, little guys.
Oh, they're tiny. I also, part of me wants to go to some of the places where I know there's pike and just wacky worm it with a little bait fuel, attractant, and put that on the wacky worm and just jig a wacky worm up and down. What about a Ned rig under the ice? What do you think a Ned rig under the ice would do?
I think better than most people ever would think.
Yeah, and there's nobody out there that I know of, at least not on YouTube, that's ice fishing Ned rigs.
Well, so Z-Man's come out with their micro finesse, and I think that micro finesse would be killer on the ice, just because it's meant for that smaller presentation, a little more finesse. But I think you'll still slay them with that.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying out. And it's funny because a lot of the lakes right now are frozen over up here. So yeah, we're supposed to warm up over the weekend into the 40s, so that might kill it off. But if it doesn't warm up, then we're just a few weeks away from ice fishing.
Right. Yeah, I'll go grab one other tool. I got something good for you.
What? Let's check it out. I'm a huge tool fan. Like you said, I'm better at buying them than using them.
Great. All right, now it's missing.
Uh-oh. I'm excited to see what this is. You're talking it up.
I found it. ever told you about this guy?
No, what is it? Oh,
So,
I see the Klein bag.
Yeah. It is. It's a boroscope,
Oh yeah.
but it's got the best part about it. It's got a light on the end. It's got the dial to adjust the brightness, a color picture, and I want to say this thing's like 10 feet long. And so I think I paid $35 for this at Home Depot.
No way.
Plugs in the bottom of your phone. You can't beat it. It really, it's water. It's water resistant. I think they say you can put in plumbing. Instead of, you think about how expensive boroscopes used to be. That used to be a big tool. $35 in your cell phone. You're done.
Yeah, it'd be handy just for looking under the workbench to see where the screws went.
Exactly right. I actually thought about when I heard those mice, I thought, maybe I should pop a little hole in the wall and take a look inside.
I think that $179 for that IR camera paid for itself. For the FLIR camera.
Yeah, and then I thought, do I really want to see what they've done in my walls?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes. I haven't heard them since they visited the one night, the 2 nights.
What, did you have to do anything to get rid of them?
Yeah, so the guy put some bait stations around the sill of the basement, and then 2 on the outside, and yeah, we're just poisoning them, I guess, at this point.
There you go. Now they'll just die on your wall and stink up the joint.
Right? Yeah, as long as the walls are sealed.
There you go. Hey, you got one of these?
What's that?
So this is a pretty handy tool to have if you're a woodworker, but it's a divider. And so, however many, say you want to divide this this thing up in 3 parts, right? You just stretch it out till you get 3. I'll move this out of the way here. And now wherever that is, there, now it's divided, well, now it's divided up into halves. Now it's divided up into thirds, 3 equal parts, 1, 2, 3. Say I want to divide it up into quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you don't have to measure. You just lay this tool out, however many intervals you want, and it'll divide it evenly. It's fantastic for like hanging coat hooks, or if you just want to say I have a 3-foot 6-inch and 2/8 board or 2/3 board or whatever, and I want to divide it up into 7 equal segments. That sucks. Or you can just get this and it does the math for you. So this is a pretty handy little tool, and I think I got it from like some Chinese vendor at a thrift market. I'm sure they're on Amazon.
Yeah, and that's just an old-timey tool that was invented a long time ago, well before we were born, and it's genius.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I just pulled down my son's bait making stuff, and so we're finding some of the prototypes that are in here, and make its way to, this is his crankbait that he's working on.
Oh, that's pretty solid looking.
Yeah, it's great shape. It's really, really great shape. So some things that need some work, and goal of getting the shop back. That if I turn the camera on, it's going to just make you weep out of the sorts the shop is right now. But the goal is get a mini split up on the wall, get some heat in here, and make it a destination for the winter.
Love it. Great idea. I fully support it.
Yeah. Just got to petition everyone else full support of it too.
Yeah, there you go. So I have heated floors. That's my refuge, is just heating up the floor.
Nice.
Not as efficient, but I keep it around 45 degrees in the winter. But I mean, that's pretty impressive when you consider we might be minus 30, minus 40.
So you've had Josh on a few times. Is Josh a tool guy as well?
Josh is a tool guy, so he's a woodworker. He does some lathe stuff, but he does a lot of woodworking, and he also does a lot of. I'll probably see if he can make it next week. there's a lot of like building decks, a lot of home stuff, like more than just carpentry, but like a lot of trim carpentry, finish carpentry kind of stuff. A lot of home projects, but his quality of work is unbelievable. Josh, if you ever watch this, you can come build anything at my house anytime. The guy is impressive, in just what he's been able to accomplish with tools. So yeah, he's a tool guy.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'd like to see. I think this is you and I were talking about future content, and I've always admired what you have crammed in a 2-car garage. It's pretty amazing what modes you have. You have your 3D printing mode. You want to do woodworking. Your wife's hobbies, whatever your kids are into. You guys have stations like on stations, and it's not crazy.
No, we get like we cram. I got 6 kids, so there's 6 bikes, 6 tackle boxes, 6 toolboxes with the kids' tools, balls, street hockey stuff, a 1967 Mustang, a table saw, a bandsaw, a lathe, all that stuff, plus car tools and scuba gear and everything. And so I have a system, and I'm pretty OCD, so I think that's the engineer in me, just keeping it neat. But right now, I love winter. Oh, well, I don't love winter, but the thing that I love about winter, looking for silver linings here, is that the Mustang goes out of the garage, the bikes go out of the garage, the kids' stuff goes out of the garage, other than their hockey equipment, and it's basically my garage for the winter. And so I get to pull out the table saw, do all the woodworking stuff. I don't have to. I can leave projects and not have to worry about pulling a car back into the garage. So I really like. I'm a lot more efficient working in the winter. So that's the one nice thing. So hopefully I'll be able to translate that into some decent videos.
Yeah. I think the folks at home, or wherever they're viewing this, would be interested in seeing your little niches. You've got quite the collection, and it's not a sickness. It's just as you dabble in each thing, and you get to learn something. There's something special there.
Yeah,
so,
I like it. Right now, I'm my middle daughter, she does a lot of robotics, and so we're working on Arduino and Raspberry Pi, learning programming, and going to do some electronics projects. One thing that makes me mad is I got these Akaso cameras. I'm actually using a new camera that I just got. Somebody had a birthday recently, Bob Ross and Winona Ryder, and so to celebrate that, I got a gift card. And I ended up buying a new camera, this one that you're seeing here. But the one thing that drives me nuts, I love those Akaso cameras. They're cheap, but they're pretty effective. But you can only use their brand of microphone on the camera, the Akaso microphone. So what I'm going to try to do is do some soldering to turn this, which just has a little 1/8" plug, or whatever it is, an RCA jack, or well, I can't remember what you call it, but so that I can plug just a cheap old microphone into it and test that. And if that works, then I'll be able to get a decent microphone to plug directly into the camera. And that'd save me a whole lot of problems and hopefully do away with some of the audio issues I've been having lately.
Yeah, I know it's a little infrequent here and there where great and then not as great.
Yeah. The problem is, like a lot of these videos, I can't go back and reshoot because I've already done the thing that I'm shooting. So it's either that or start over. And hey, I'm just a dude in his garage. If I did this for a living and had a production crew, yeah, maybe I would do stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't do voiceovers. That'll sound funny unless you can get what's his face from Home Depot, Lodi, Wisconsin. Tom Wopat.
Tom Wopat.
Get him to do your voiceovers.
Yeah, that would be great. Get Tom. Hey, Tom, if you're watching, let's talk.
and Tom, if you're watching, what happened, man? This is what you're watching tonight.
Yeah, it's true. If Tom Wopat's watching us, then he's sunk down. I don't think Tom has. I think Tom's probably living high on the hog, and he deserves it. Dukes of Hazzard, life-changing for a young 8-year-old arming a Greg.
Well, I'm looking for a tool. There's something I wanted to show you.
Yeah, well, now I want to see it.
Oh, I just don't know where it is. All right, you haven't seen the shop, right?
I have not been to the house. I haven't seen the shop yet.
So I'll start over. I'll start over here. So the homeowner actually had these up on the wall. Pretty nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So full-size workbench, and then a window, which is nice but not nice, right? You know. You gotta be, but airplanes up on the top, and everybody needs you need a comfy chair in your shop. That's a glider rocker.
Yeah, that's a luxury I don't have.
You don't have the space for that yet, right?
No.
But nice workbench, another second workbench. Got my drill press, and then the backup stuff.
Yeah, that's sharp. I like that.
Hey, look, some dude made me stuff up top holding my M12 batteries.
Oh, if you like that, check out my video on the M12 battery organizer.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
That's right. You said it, not me.
They never caved to that.
No.
Pandering. But if you want to like and subscribe, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you on it. Yeah, so one thing, speaking of videos, one thing I want to do, I don't know if you can actually see this. That is gold. So I do one of my hobbies is gold panning. And this is the sum total of my gold from everywhere but Alaska. My wife and I went to Alaska to do some gold panning. And I got more than this just in like a 3-hour tour of a gold panning area that on the Crow River, I think it was, that we got to go to. You just pay a couple bucks, you go pan, you get to keep whatever you panned. And I found more than this in just 3 hours. But this is like 5-6 years worth of flour gold in Wisconsin and Minnesota. So that's I want to do a bunch more of those videos of gold panning and stuff.
Didn't you do some gold panning with some Lowe's play sand or Home Depot sand?
I think there's been a lot of YouTube videos with the Home Depot play sand. I did some. And the sand up by us, I didn't find anything in 2 bags. I think in Wisconsin I did when I did some there. But really, I plan on this summer going to Wisconsin quite a bit. Just taking tours of some of like the northeastern Wisconsin, north central Wisconsin. And there's a lot of good places to pan for gold there. I like to pan, actually a lot of this gold right here. Some of it's from Missouri, but a lot of it is from Eau Claire area, the Eau Claire River. So we took a couple vacations to Eau Claire, because what family doesn't? And we just decided, well, my daughter was interested in going to UW Eau Claire. And we found quite a bit there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I just noticed on my shelf, I got to go grab it. It's a special tool for you.
Uh-oh, what'd you notice?
It is actually what we talked about before. It is the Craftsman Professional.
Oh, I remember that.
It's a terrible tool.
And I think it's laminated too, isn't it? Here, hold it sideways. Is that one?
Yes,
yeah.
right.
I remember that.
Gee. Terrible. Yes. It's like the joke about toilet paper, just terrible.
That's right. I like single ply though. You get a better hands-on experience.
Absolutely. If you're nice to me, I'll remember this for Christmas.
Don't you dare.
Oh yeah.
No, it's funny because I have a lot of made in America. I have a lot of Craftsman tools. Back when they used to be made in the USA, I have a full socket drawer of every Craftsman made in the USA socket that they have, and I even have the 10mm still. And then my screwdriver set, Phillips and slotted, I have all Craftsman. I think I got like the 39-piece screwdriver set when I first got married, or something like that. I think I still have a Craftsman jigsaw. And a few other, Craftsman tools. Like my shop vac and all that kind of stuff is still Craftsman. My table saw, I have a contractor saw, and it's Craftsman.
Actually, the computer tonight is actually sitting on a Craftsman padded stool.
Well, I'm sitting on a Craftsman padded stool right now.
See, there's so many similarities tonight. It's eerie.
It is uncanny.
Yeah, I have the the Craftsman socket sets, and I was at St. Vincent St. Vinny's, we call it, thrift shop, and I found another set of Made in America sockets. The worst case in the world. I mean, you wanna just cry every time you open the case because you know nothing will be where you left it.
Oh yeah, I love that. The surprise.
And my old one, it's a clamshell, and on the one side of the clamshell, it's got one of the lids that holds all the small sockets. And my kid's favorite activity is, hey, could you close that case? And they close it, and they forget to clip it. And as they close it, you just hear this sound of every socket falling out of place. And then it's, hey, you know what you got to do next? No. Yep, you get to put them all back.
That's where a bunch of neodymium magnets or something like in the back of the case would be handy.
What? They make it heavy. Like, could take it through TSA, but it wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, if you're traveling with a socket case on the airline, you got other problems. Either that or you live the kind of life I want to live.
Right. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the old Craftsman stuff. If you shop eBay, look at what a Craftsman Made in America 10mm socket goes for. They're worth money.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I have quite a few.
Yeah, you might be able to put your kids through college with what I know you have in Craftsman wrenches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, any other favorite tools you got?
Oh, that's a think for a moment. I mean, who doesn't like a zip tie? I mean, a zip tie is a, you know.
Zip tie, duct tape, and JB Weld, man. That's what holds most of my stuff together.
Yeah, you know, everybody, a rubber mallet is always my go-to jam. Fixes so many problems.
Oh yeah.
I know something that's red that you'll like.
Oh, I like red tools. Although I started to branch out to some green tools. Oh, that is awesome. I love that.
Right? It's big, but the squeeze clamp.
It's so handy.
Oh. Yeah. You lose something, you can hang it. Like I was building a shed. I was building these plastic sheds. I built it 3 times. That's a whole other story, and I'll drink a lot more if I have to tell it. But this thing lit it up at night. You can hang from it. One of my favorite. And it's an obscure tool. Most Milwaukee guys, you kind of feel like a nerd. You're like, oh yeah, but do you have this? What? Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
love it.
really into auto mechanics.
Well, I used to work. So I work on my Mustang. I used to work on cars way more than I wanted to. So, I mean, it seemed like every week, every weekend, I was spending my weekends fixing cars just to keep them on the road. So I have way more mechanics tools than I need. Now I've kind of alleviated that. I bought a new car finally, and I don't think I haven't even changed my own oil yet. So I still change oil on the tractor and stuff, but in the Mustang, but just that way I still know that I have the skill. But yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of auto mechanic work, and coincidentally haven't bought a whole lot of auto mechanic tools lately. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, those are overrated. I would rather borrow a lot of those tools now than ever own them.
Oh sure.
What do you like for side cutters? I've got this blue pair, they're generic, and they don't die, and I don't even know who made them, but I know I would like to have another pair around. These things cut everything. Are you finding it?
Yeah, for side cutters. Sorry, I just had to go grab them. For side cutters, I got a couple options. So I use, I don't know, I got these. These are the Milwaukee ones. These stay with the 3D printer. Just handy. I don't mind if they get dirty or destroyed. I think I just got them for less than $10 on sale. I mean, now on this workbench, on my main workbench, I use these Nepexes. And these are fantastic. I've kind of worn the spring out so they don't quite open up as much. but I really like these, especially for delicate electronic work. I also like, and it's an American company, these Fast Cap flush cut. So these are made by a company called Fast Cap. I don't even see that, but and they got a great profile. And they're made in the United States. And then I have a big pair of flush cut by Fast Cap. Fast Cap is one of those companies that just makes like really innovative tools. Again, they're an American company. They have a whole host of like tape measures, and everything they make is just fantastic. Really well thought out. Like here's a bunch of their tape measures, and they're made www.fastcap.com. But look at this thing. It's actually a tape measure. It's flat, so it's perfect for woodworking. It just lays flat. It doesn't have that bow in it. And then it's got like a little erasable thing on here so you can write your measurement right on the tape measure. It's got a really nice clip that just holds in there. And this is a 16-foot flat back. This is their Pro Carpenter. And then I like this one. This one's really handy. It's got left and right. So it has on both sides of the tape measure, it has the same thing. Gotta see that. So that's handy when you have to reverse your measurements onto something else.
Right.
And then if you grew up in the Soviet Union, there's also the metric version. And it stinks that I have to own a metric tape wrench, but all the 3D printing stuff and all is always in metric. So I definitely prefer Freedom units, but it's 3,462 millimeters. Oh, I have no idea how tall that is. Oh, you're 1.6 meters tall. That's useless to me. So yeah. Anyway,
it's not measuring stone.
That's right.
That's never understood that one. That one's.
My car gets 6 hogshead per hectare, or whatever. The Simpsons episode. It was like their Yugo parody. You remember that?
I do remember that one. It's funny. You show me the tape measure, and you tell me that the tape is flat. You just go, I would love that. I never even thought of why I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're doing woodworking, it's just so handy to have.
Yeah. And half the time you're fighting the tape because it twists.
Yeah, I mean, look at how much that one is dished. I mean, that's huge. And in woodworking, you got to just, to get real precise, you just have to lean it down onto the work. With the flat back, you don't have to. And even this Milwaukee 25-footer is still pretty dished out. But the flat back tape measure, just flat. Yeah, just really nice. I have way too many tape measures.
Yeah, they're everywhere, but I think the multitude just comes from, I always leave them somewhere, so the more I have, the more I can find somewhere else that I left them the previous day.
Well, I used to have a dedicated wood shop, so before I got transferred here, I had a dedicated wood shop. So I'd have one in the garage, I'd have one back in the shed, and then I'd have one in the wood shop, or a couple in the wood shop. And then now that I have one, we moved into this place, 7 years ago, but I just condensed them all. And eventually I plan on getting a workshop again, so I haven't gotten rid of them. That way I can put it back in.
It'd be nice to have a dedicated space for that. Have some room for larger pieces.
Yeah, I think that's what I miss most about living. Well, that and being closer to family, but yeah. Good stuff. Wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any other tools you want to share?
I have to think the bike shop ones are hard to show you on camera. They are some of the most finicky little things, but actually, I'll show you a tool that's very expensive, and I've used it maybe 4 times in my life. So in the bike world, there's a manufacturer called Chris King, and you can see their logo there. And this tool they made for just simply taking apart their rear bike hub. And every little thing on here has a sequence and a purpose. This is actually hardened steel up here because you're going to need to whack on it. does, it goes into the space and then it expands into a concentric shape, so then you can pull a bearing out.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, and it's just a work of art. I think when I worked in a bike shop, it was a $200+ tool, and that was my cost. I'll never get rid of it, but likely I'll probably never use this again because I might take a hub apart again, but I don't ride that much to need to service that much.
Sure.
And it's anodized pretty. It's pewter. Who doesn't like pewter? Yeah, that's my other fun thought. I'll have to think if there's anything else to do. This is a good one.
Yeah, so what are your, it's Minnesota, or, I'm Minnesota, you're in Wisconsin, so of course we got to talk weather. What's the weather down there by you? You going to be ice fishing soon?
Yeah, so we had about 50 degrees. We had snow 2 days ago, about 3 inches, and it's gone. Halloween, it was fall dressed up as winter, and then and that's all gone. So we still got open water, and I still plan to take the boat out, pretend I fish, at least throw the line out there, see what happens. But this time of year, it's just so weird to fish. But if I can help it, I'll get out in the water again.
I think next time I fish will probably be on the ice. So I ended up, I was at Shields, which is like our big, it's kind of like a combination of Dick's, Bass Pro Shop, and Cabela's all in one. But Clam makes these Tika flashes. Lighting is horrible. So I picked up a couple of those for the ice this year, and then I picked up one of these, it's a Pinhead Pro Minnow.
Tiny.
Well, I mean, it's ice fishing, yeah, for panfish.
Right.
So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to using those. Haven't gotten the ice fishing stuff out yet, but it starts this week or this weekend. That's on my tomorrow. I got to rake leaves. So we had a huge snowfall last week, and I didn't get a chance. I couldn't get home in time to cut the grass before the snow came. So I mean, Wisconsin, Minnesota, that's just the way life is sometimes. So I didn't get.
My grass is so green right now.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ours too, because we had a warm up. It's like I said, it was in the upper 30s today. It's supposed to be 45 tomorrow and Sunday before we get another cold snap. So I'm hoping that it's warm enough that it melts the snow tonight and tomorrow, so I can rake leaves and cut the grass on Sunday, and then and then it's time to get ready to ice fish.
Right. Yeah, no, tomorrow is it's going to be in the 50s, and the goal is to winterize the fiberglass bass boat, so that's got a Yamaha on it, and so we're at least going to do the lower unit. Maybe if I'm feeling spunky, I'll fog it too, and then do the lower unit on the John boat, which is kind of the meter boat, and just make sure there's no water in that, because that's an older motor, so I just want to make sure there's no water in the lower unit. I'm not ready to fog that yet, but I want to at least make sure there's nothing in there that can freeze and pop it.
Yeah, so I took my boat in to be winterized. It's the second winter we've had it, so I figured it's still got that new boat smell. And yeah, so I got the bill today. I'm like, maybe next year I'll do it myself. They wanted almost $400 to winterize it. Yeah, $400 for oil change and winterize, and then yeah, so that, and then they shrink wrap it and store it over the winter because I don't have room here. But yeah, I thought that was. Maybe I'll just start doing it myself. I winterized my other motor, but I figured this one's new. I want to keep it nice, but I don't know if I want to keep it that nice.
Did the 400 include shrink wrapping your tune?
No, shrink wrapping, winterizing, oil change, and some other, my 100-hour maintenance came out to like $760. That's a chunk of change. I was not expecting that when I got the bill, because last year, because I just bought it, so winterization and storage and shrink wrapping were free last year. I'm like, sweet. So my bill for doing some other stuff to it, oil change and some other, my 50-hour maintenance, was only, only like $150 or $140. And this year, that inflation got to me.
Yeah, the oil, and I learned that, although I think, we both have Yamahas on our more valuable boats, Yamaha dealers, Yamaha lube is of course, the preferred. But you talk to the dealer, and they use Quicksilver. They use the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, I use Quicksilver on my other motor.
Yeah. So that'll be the fun tomorrow. Get that. It's always a sad time of year when you're kind of admitting that it's over, and it's time to put it away.
Let me tell you, my friend, we didn't get any muskie, but muskie season doesn't end until the first Saturday in December, and I'm coming down your way Thanksgiving weekend. So if you got the time, I might have a day like Saturday or Sunday to maybe head back out for some more muskie, another shot at it.
Right the wrongs, right?
That's right. I mean, we could just trolling motor it. We don't even have to use the gas motor. Or we
right.
Or we could just go to our little spot where we shore fish.
Yeah. I think it's got to be shore fish because by that time the John boat will be put away and taking its winter nap.
Yeah, maybe meet up for an afternoon of shore fishing up there. And I have caught him Thanksgiving weekend when my brother-in-law and he used to come up to our house for Thanksgiving, and we'd always take a day and go to that spot. And we've caught him there before. I can't remember what year, but we've caught him there a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably put the coordinates in at this point in the video because if you're still watching, maybe they could help out.
Yeah, why not? Well, there's 2 people still watching, right?
Yep.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, hey.
Well, one is Tom Wopat. We know that.
Who?
Tom
yeah,
Wopat.
Tom Wopat. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks for sticking around. And if you ever want to do a voiceover, absolutely. Or if you need me to sub in for you one day, I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, he's local.
Yeah. Does he still live in Wisconsin? No way.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nobody does that by choice. No, I'm kidding.
That's not true. Wisconsin's a lovely part of country. If you like cheese.
Yeah. As long as you're not lactose intolerant.
That's right. And Minnesota's a great place, as long as you have someplace warmer to go for 9 months out of the year.
Absolutely.
Well, Wiscobass, I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, man, this is a good hang, and I'd love to see Josh on this sometime. We'll get a Brady Bunch kind of thing going on here.
Yeah, I just got real busy this week, and I just asked you this morning or this afternoon if you wanted to join me. So I just didn't get a chance to ask. So if you're watching there, Josh, I apologize. We'll get you on next week.
Yeah, that'd be a good hang. I think everyone's workshops have some interest, and I'd love to see a tour of yours. And I'd love to see what Josh has got. That sounds awkward, but I'd like to see Josh's too.
Yeah. He'll show you yours if you show him his, or whatever. Anyway, yeah.
It's public now.
That's right. Well, hey, thanks, Wiscobass. Appreciate it.
Yeah,